Just a short drive outside of Madrid is the Valley of the Fallen, a monumental basilica and memorial that houses the remains of 40,000 soldiers who died in the Spanish Civil War, both nationalists and Republicans. But the Spanish parliament has decided to exhume one controversial figure buried there, fascist dictator Fransisco Franco. The act was supported by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and his Spanish Socialist Workers' Party. The valley, Franco's place in it, and indeed the place of all of Franco's graveyards and monuments, are highly contentious. Activists, especially further to the left or attached to the regions of Catalonia and Basqueland, have been pushing for similar measures since the end of the dictatorship. The vote came down to 176 in favor of the motion and only 2 against, with a massive 165 abstentions from the right-wing opposition.
Honestly, do you feel comfortable with a monument in honor of a dictator 20 kilometers away from Madrid? Can you picture a monument 20 kilometers away from Berlin in honor of Hitler? Or one 20 kilometers away from Rome in honor of Mussolini? I don't want that for my country because I want to have a country that is democratically advanced. I want to put an end to that abnormality, and so does the Prime Minister and Spanish society.
Fransisco Franco reigned from the time of his victory in the Civil War in 1939 until his death in 1975, leaving behind a highly controversial legacy marked by both extreme repression and economic revival. The Civil War and subsequent dictatorship continue to divide Spanish society, and the reactions to decisions demonstrate that. One former prisoner of the fascist regime, who was part of the crew which built the monument, believes that even the Valley of the Fallen itself must go, not just the body of the dictator buried there. The Valley of the Fallen is a monstrosity of the years after the war with all the symbols of Franco's victory, with arrows, shields, and eagles everywhere. So that can't be turned into a national cemetery because it should be neutral and respectful with everyone buried there. Meanwhile, polls show that around 35% of the population oppose the exhumation. That number is only slightly higher than the 1 in 3 Spaniards who look on Franco's coup favorably. Some Franco supporters see this act not as historical reconciliation, but as desecration.
It's an abuse of power, it's anti-democratic, it goes against the Constitution, against human rights, especially of those who are dead, who have the right to rest in peace. This right exists even in the most primitive societies, come on! Furthermore, it goes against the law, against the family's will, against every law, even an international agreement, against the owner of the basilica, against everything.
The vote passed with little active legislative resistance, so the exhumation will likely eventually take place. Time will tell to what extent removing Fransisco Franco's body from a place of honor will help heal the wounds his war and regime left behind.